Good evening and welcome to the airwaves. I have finally sorted out my mic. It sounds amazing. It sounds like magic. Shout out YouTube. There's a tutorial for everything. I wanted to talk about Liverpool, my team, my club. I've supported them since I was a young man. I even modeled my game on Stevie G, if that's even possible. But one can hope. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to chat about our start to the season because it's been good, but quite a roller coaster, you know? If you have to think about all the games that we've been in, it's not usual circumstances. Even in the last game, should we have had a red card? Well, not us. Should Brighton have had a red card? I think so. I think Soboszlai is through one-on-one with the keeper, essentially. He's pulled back. It's cynical. I don't think the guy even got a yellow card, which is crazy to think. Which kind of shows how weird and perplexing football can be. You think back to the Newcastle game, we pulled that one out the bag. Let's just say we actually got 0 points out of that. Our season would be looking a little bit shaky. We'd probably be 6 points off top, which is the situation Manchester United find themselves in. So, although we had a relatively good start to the season, I think it's been punctuated by a setback at Spurs, which has cost us momentum. Momentum in football is such a fragile thing. And that's why my feelings towards VAR and how the situation was handled, I can't accept that happened. It just feels it is human error. It is human error. People make mistakes. I did listen to the recording. They did figure out that they made a mistake, but you can't stop the game. It's not a life and death situation. If you stop the game, you can stop the game and be like, guys, we made a mistake. No one. I'm pretty sure all 22 players on the pitch, maybe 11 of them are going to be a bit pissed off, but after the game, they'll realize that momentum can carry you through games that you might not have won because you have the points in the bag. There's nothing more important than having points on the board. Do not ever think that your team is suddenly going to win 5 games in a row because you're playing 5 easy opponents. The Premier League doesn't work like that. Football doesn't work like that. On your day, you can lose to anybody, whether you are Barcelona playing Celtic and have 90% possession, 30 shots on target. Celtic have 2 shots on target. They score with 1. You lose 1-0. The mighty Barcelona. I think that was like 2009, 2010. So that was at their absolute peak. That can happen to any team in this world. So my feeling towards that situation, I think you can clearly see that I'm a little bit miffed about it. But we'll move on. And maybe let's talk some positives. Positives, Soboszlai. What a gem of a player. I think it was close to the 90th minute where I saw him sprinting to close down a player, a Brighton player. And that's infectious because I think just after he pressed, one of the Brighton players played a ball back, and then I think the goalkeeper kicked it out for a throw-in. People don't, with the metrics and stuff in football, like, people are forgetting the intangibles, man. Like, you press, maybe it's not the press that where you win the ball, but technically 2 moves later, you did win the ball. It was your press that caused the situation. That's what football managers look for. Football managers don't look for, I mean, of course they do, but I'm just saying there's multiple layers to this game. That's what I would look for in a player. Somebody for the team, somebody that presses for the team, not pressing to make an interception or a good tackle. Of course, that is your primary hope, but also understanding that pressure is what the top level athletes need to be under. At the top, the separation skill, there's a whole group of players that sit in the middle. There's outliers that are a bit worse, and there's outliers that are much greater. But in that chunk in the middle is what pressure is what causes those 50-50s, whether you lose the ball, whether you keep the ball, pressure. Soboszlai ticks that box really well, really, really well. I just don't want him to be overplayed. He's young, he's 22. Don't put too many miles on this boy's legs. Give him time to rest. He's a great player. Give him longevity, please. Please, Liverpool Football Club, give this man some longevity. Macallister, everybody's talking about the fact that he's not a recognized number 6. I get that. But the constant panic is in a football club is what causes cracks to start happening. We're okay in midfield. I know that we strive for perfection, but just because you bring in a recognized number 6 doesn't mean you're going to guarantee perfection. On his first game, he could give away a penalty. I mean, look at what happened to Caicedo. In the long run, it will work out for Caicedo. I'm not against that. But guys, the January transfer window, we know hardly anybody comes in. Endo, I watched him play. He's a tidy player. He's a very neat and tidy player. He's somebody that goes unrecognized. That's exactly what you want from your number 6. You don't want your number 6 controlling the game. You want your number 6 to pull the game back for you. You have maestros on the field that control the game. Your number 6 is there to clean up. He's the man behind the scenes, the man behind the curtain. There's a curtain between midfield and defense. He is that curtain. That is your number 6. Endo will do that job. I don't think there's cause for concern. Might be wrong, obviously. It's an opinions game. Gravernberch, great feet. Great feet. Good movement. Strikes me as a balanced player. He might look very attacking, but something tells me with those long legs, he's gonna make a lot of interceptions. He's gonna make a lot of tackles and winning the ball back. It's just very difficult to play against somebody with long legs, man. Like it feels as if you've got away from them, and then they just get like a tiptoe to the ball, and you're like, how did you do that? How? So hopefully, Ryan Longlegs Gravernberch pulls through for us this season with his long legs. I'm just talking about our new rivals. They're fresh in my mind. Andy Robertson, he's garnered so much respect, man. I cannot, and I will not disrespect the man. He maybe just needs another boost, I think in life it's a lot to do with motivation. Life is motivation. You're gonna have periods where motivation is not so good. You're kind of moving through the paces of things. In the top level football, once you start doing that, you get found out a little bit. But he hasn't been found out per se. Yes, he makes a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. Football is a game of mistakes. Otherwise, we would just have a scoreline of 0-0 every damn game. Something you have to accept. If you're going to let go of a goal, well, score 2 or score 3. Team within the game needs to, we are conceding first. We're slow starters. What that's down to is very difficult to pinpoint. One of my theories is that teams come out quite energized against Liverpool. And it's our battle of attrition and I guess quality that eventually pulls through. No team can go 90 minutes toe-to-toe with Liverpool. At some point, they will sit back. Liverpool is just that team that never sits back. And even when we do, we're always looking to spring very quickly. It's kind of why I like the team. Kind of like why I like Jurgen Klopp. We're not passive. We play a brand of football that is exciting to watch. It's end to end. I don't think you ever watch a Liverpool game where whether we lose, draw, or win, a Liverpool game's entertaining, man. You got to give that to us. We don't play boring football. Let me not talk about who does play boring football. um, who else? Salah. What a guy, man. He's having such a great season. I would not sell him for the world. I think he does. And he's an amazing outlet. He's so strong. I don't even think I need to tell you why Salah is great. I just hope that we can win a few more titles with him, just so that he has that 2, in front of every title that he's won, because he's got one of each in his Liverpool career. Just to cement himself. Not that he's already not cemented himself. I just mean like to put that absolute last nail in the coffin of anybody who has doubting him. There still are people. I think it's a little bit of jealousy, I guess. If the man's been scoring against your team for years, you gotta find reasons to hate him. But overall, I think going into our next game is going to be quite the challenge. But I think, actually, sorry, I have another point. That point is when Manchester City drop points, Liverpool drop points. This has happened. I don't say I know this factually, but it feels factual. What I mean, I feel like every time Manchester City has dropped points over the years, Liverpool have just not capitalized. I don't know where that stems from. I might be wrong. Somebody please check the records and let me know. But yes, I'm sick and tired of Liverpool not capitalizing. We need to beat Manchester City. We have to beat them. And I say have to, as in, for the last few seasons, we've either drawn or lost at the Etihad. And we need to right that wrong this season. I don't care if we could be kingmakers. I'm not sure we're title contenders. Feels stretched too far for this team. I always think about growth. Arsenal, their trajectory, their growth is they're at that point in their growth where even if they play bad, they can grind out a 0-0, possibly get a 1-1. For some reason, they always seem to get 10 minutes at the Emirates, so there's that. 10 minutes of stoppage time keeps happening. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a different video. Yeah, we need to right that wrong. And Liverpool this season will be kingmakers. I want us to beat Arsenal at the Emirates. I want us to beat Manchester City at the Etihad. Not in terms of going for the title. Don't know if any of you guys watch rugby. I'm a South African. We're pretty good at rugby. Where we won the last World Cup, if you guys don't know. And that was actually there's a great documentary called Chasing the Sun. If you can get it somewhere, please watch it. It's beautifully done. It's an exquisite documentary, and it's basically the build up to the Rugby World Cup, which was in 2019. And South African planned for the 2023 World Cup, which we're currently in. We're in the quarterfinals. And the feeling was that we want to win the 2023 World Cup. It just so happened that we won the 2019 World Cup. And even prior to that, one of the big things was beating New Zealand, who are probably the best sports team ever. I'm pretty sure I can say that. New Zealand rugby is the best sports team ever. Probably next to, is it Lyon's women's team? who did some crazy shit. But no, yeah, New Zealand is the greatest sports team ever. And we set ourselves a goal of beating New Zealand in Auckland as a gauge. And I feel like the gauge for this team, I don't care about winning the title yet. If it comes, it comes. If it's like the 2019 World Cup, if all factors work and we do win it, my gauge for this team is to beat Arsenal at the Emirates and to beat Manchester City at the Etihad. If we can do those two things, I don't care about any other result in between those two things. Because it'll show you, firstly, that you have the quality to beat an Arsenal side who is very resurgent. I don't know why people keep sleeping on them. It's a bit weird, but anyway. And Manchester City, who has been the best team in Europe for the last few seasons. I know Real Madrid has won the Champions League, but Manchester City play great football. So if we can do those two things, that'll be an amazing gauge for our chances for the title next season. Primarily this season, I would say get into the Champions League, make someone a king, knock out someone from the title race. That would be great. If we're within touching distance with 6 games to go, I'll start believing. But just kind of knowing football, our team is amazing at their best and a bit sleepy at their worst. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that sorts itself out, and yeah, we're just gonna grow together as a team. The youngsters are gonna grow up together. I think there's a bunch of people in their like mid 20s, lower 20s. So they're gonna grow as a team. We're gonna get 4 or 5 years of this evolution. That's gonna be great to watch. It's gonna be great to see them like 28, 29, 27, thereabouts. And just, yeah, at the peak of their powers. But yeah, I'm actually getting pretty hungry. So I hope I've covered quite a bit there. Maybe some things that other guys are not talking about. And yeah, this is my first Liverpool video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Trying to fix my mic. I hope it has been fixed. Shout out YouTube again for the tutorials. And yeah, I'll be signing off. I don't know why I just saluted, but I did. Have a great day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you're watching this in the world. That's all from me, Mr. Salem. Thank you. Bye.